Welcome, 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 welcome. You know how we do. LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. We are on here. If you are watching this, it is time to get into the comment section. Make sure you're networking. Get ready. We're going to be talking about how to be agile to get success today. Jump into the comment section and begin the networking, begin the fun, share, comment, like. Be right back.
Steve Spiro, you're a mentor, you're a consultant, you're a business owner, but most importantly, you're a host of your own show and you're also a master connector.
Steve Spiro is one of my idols, and I love listening to everything that he does. He's such a dynamic individual.
Some of the topics I really enjoy speaking on is how to really connect, whether it be in person or through social media. I love to lead with my weaknesses. I lead with, my vulnerabilities. It's fine because I'm okay with who I am. Number two is how to go from being inward focused, self-focused, into others focused. Be willing to give and go out there and look to serve. That will attract the right things. Another one is on leveraging LinkedIn to really grow your business. You could reach a lot more people. You could broadcast a message to people that actually consented to want to know you. And then lastly, overcoming big obstacles. I love sharing. I was a shy, introverted kid, picked on, bullied, learning disabled, dyslexic, really in a dark place. I was really in a box, in a shell, and I've been able to break out of that box. And so I love being able to inspire people and really help them. So the Master Connector was born. The world is my networking event. Right? I meet people all the time. My goal is to meet 3 strangers every single day.
Steve is open to meeting you. You should set up a face-to-face with Steve. One little conversation can really change your life. All right, Steve, get this conversation started, my friend.
Well, what's going on, friend? Steve coming at you here, Master Connector, live and direct. Just wanted to say hello, welcome. So I'm going to start out by talking about a phrase or quote from the great Bill Gates. He said, success today requires that agility and drive to consistently rethink, reinvigorate, react, and reinvent. And, some of you guys who know my story, my background, martial arts background, I learned how to adapt. I learned how to be agile. There's a story, I'll tell you another time, where I learned how to not block my sensei's roundhouse kick with my nose. That was I learned how to, in our style in the martial arts, we learned how to block soft but hit hard, right? So we were big on moving, and it was a style where you had to kind of adapt. And I learned, again, being a short guy, 5'7", 5'8". I learned, that and my sensei was 6'5", 300 pounds. I learned I couldn't be like him. I had to be agile. I had to move, right? So, and that applies in martial arts, but it also applies in business and in life, right? And so, today we're gonna learn and we're gonna talk a lot about it, why it's important to be agile, right? And here's the thing, right? Have you ever thought why growth mindset is important? We're gonna cover that today, right? We're also gonna talk about learning how the power of heart and humanity, what it means to us, to you, and how it could really help you. And along the way, also the value of community. So it's going to be an incredible episode. Can't wait to hear our guest, Kate, and I'm going to have my man, Mr. Cameron, bring her up. But before we do, if you're ready for Cameron to do that, what he does so great, I want you to type in right now, #ready. Right in there, #ready. And Cameron, I'll turn it over to you, sir.
Absolutely. Let's get this conversation and party started with Kate Bays. I'm going to throw her on the screen here. I just want to shout out my friend in the comments section here, Dr. Alexandria Rosa in the house, tuning in from Ohio. If you're tuning in, and I know you are, I see the numbers here. I know you're there. Don't be a LinkedIn lurker. Be a LinkedIn commenter. Be engaged. Be LinkedIn excellence. I don't know. I'm making up words here. All right, Kate, with that. Kate Bays is a Pittsburgh native. Kate founded Virtual Agility in the midst of the pandemic. Kate brings a history of on-air production, TV news experience, and virtual producer experience. Kate has combined her skill sets in her newest endeavor, HeartShaped HR, in which she hosts a live interview placing HR individuals, professionals in the interviewee seat to draw out the heart and humanity of the hiring process. If you're enjoying a nice coffee today, rest well knowing Kate probably is as well. We are going to get into this show because we respect your time and you probably enjoy spending quality time with your family as much as Kate does. Please welcome to the show, the bright, the beautiful Kate Bays.
Wow, that was an awesome intro. I am so pumped to be with all of you. If you are just as pumped, throw a hashtag pumped in the comments for us today. We are so excited that you're with us. I am so excited to be a part of this, that Steve chose me as one of his 3 strangers at one point, and that we had a LinkedIn conversation and got connected, and it's led me here today with all of you.
Oh, that's awesome. We got more people checking in the comments. We got Joe. Man, that's one heck of a last name there, Joe. Joe Ola is Nick Shack. You have to
Joe
give us
O.
a voice message on how to pronounce that. Yolanda in the comments. Thank you, Yolanda. Luke Harlan checking in from B-More. Thank you, Yolanda, checking in. All right, Steve, get this conversation started. Here we go.
Well, first I just got to acknowledge you are definitely not a stranger, but it is fun. It was fun really getting to chat with you, Kate, and getting to know your story and your background. And I do enjoy meeting strangers, and getting over stranger danger. Okay. I don't know if you've ever heard that expression, but when you're from New York, they say, don't talk to strangers, right? I don't know. Maybe when you're 6, 7 years old. Okay. But when you're an adult, what are they going to kidnap you? Are they going to kill you because you talk to strangers? I don't know, but they tell us that, right? It's crazy, but I love doing it now, and it's fun, and it was great to get to meet you. So I know you have an amazing story, Kate, and there's a lot to your story, but we're intrigued. I know our amazing community want to hear a story. So if you're ready for Kate, I want you to put in hashtag story, and we're going to ask you a little bit about your journey to becoming a TV news anchor. That got to be cool. We were talking backstage how I watched the movie. I know I'm dating myself, broadcast news and the craziness of that. But I would love to hear a little bit of that, just briefly on what that experience was like.
Back in the day when we had less TVs in our house and we were all forced to watch television with whichever adult was watching TV at that time. And so often the news was on TV and I was forced to sit there and watch alongside my grandparents or my parents. And I was just infatuated. And I can remember specifically who she was, Pittsburgher, Patrice King Brown, when I was younger. And one day we saw her in a grocery store and I almost jumped out of my skin. I was elated to actually see that this woman was a real person. Here she was in the grocery store line in front of us. And my mom pushed me up there. Go ahead, say hello, say hello. I want to be on TV just like you. Here I was. This lady's like, okay, I just need to buy my bananas. She was nice as can be. It was so nice to see the humanity and make that connection and just follow that dream and end up being in that same seat, so to speak. It was a great profession. I did enjoy it while I was there, but the hours and the demands of being on television are tremendous.
Yeah, I could imagine for sure. I've definitely heard stories. That's for sure. I mean, again, if you go back and watch that broadcast news, and I don't know if that was indicative of. I remember them running through the studio trying to get this tape to deadlines. Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Crazy, but good stuff. Well, we want to talk a little bit about in your bio, in your intro, you talked about something about heart, and so if our community would love you to type in hashtag heart, HeArt, however you spell that, right? There it is.
Yes, you're good.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But we want to hear about what is HeartShaped HR. Let's talk about that. Give us a little bit of background on that, if you don't mind.
Right. And I am particularly looking for followers on hashtag HeartShapedHR on LinkedIn. If you're willing and able to follow me in my journey as I grow HeartShaped HR. So this idea came to me, and I think the whole idea behind agility and growing and learning is when you're an entrepreneur looking for a problem, keeping your ears opening and listening for what the issues are in the current climate, in the force in the market. And in doing so, I shaped this idea. I'm seeing a huge gap in all of the folks on LinkedIn who are looking for jobs, who are being laid off. And then on the other side of it, these companies, these hiring managers who are struggling to find great talent, to find the right fit. Well, somewhere in there, there's a gap and something is not syncing up. And in staying agile and wanting to be a part of what is happening now, I adopted this new idea and this new service, this new facet of what I'm doing with my company, Virtual Agility. HeartShaped HR is bringing the heart and humanity into the hiring process. And for specifically job seekers. So I'm on two different sides of this. On the job seeker side of it, I'm helping create, it's starting with a live streamed interview and digging into who you really are and all the things that I can't learn about you as a hiring manager on your resume, on a piece of paper. Paper doesn't tell me anything. But this interview is me digging into all of the great things that are you and helping you as a job seeker to create a video cover letter that you can use. And then I'm putting it out on all the socials so that they can gain that exposure, helping them create little snippets or whatever they need to get that fast pass to the interview process. And then on the corporate side of it, helping a company create something that's going to help them attract these rock star employees that they're so desperately trying to bring in.
I love that. And, it's funny because we've talked about leveraging technology,
right?
And I loved what you said, right? I've given the advice to some people who've asked me, when if I don't know if you've seen the movie, I'm sure you have, Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith, right? And how, he had to get the job. Now, this is back in the day before Indeed and Monster. I don't even know if Monster's around anymore, but back in the day when there was no digital online kind of application process. And, he did is he went to the movies, not the movies, to the football game. He showed up at the guy's door. He jumped in a cab and did the Rubik's Cube thing, right? And he did everything, but he showed up physically, right? He was not just a piece of paper or in today's world, a digital file of what you are. And I love what you just said about having the ability to put a video out. You call it a video cover letter. That's pretty awesome. But I love that, right? And the ability to really express who you are. And, they could see your energy. They could see your excitement. They could see your heart, perhaps, right? And maybe that's probably where I'm guessing where the heart piece of that is because you could express your heart a lot more than you can in just a written word, right?
Exactly.
So pretty interesting. So have you seen results with that, with the people that you've given that advice to?
Yes. So I'm so excited. I recently created a congratulatory little video for my first job seeker who landed a job and pretty quick turnaround. So that was so exciting to see the result happen so quickly. Awesome. I have some other responses, people, getting this off the ground and getting people excited about it too. New concept. So, and again, with the hashtags, and I have even taken the accessibility approach with capital V, capitalizing. I know that's really, we need to be more mindful of doing things like that. So
sure.
Yeah, getting those hashtags out to everyone.
That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we want to talk about is growth, right? And so I would like the viewers that as we get into this next part of the conversation, we want to talk about growth. So please type in, there it is. Thank you, Cameron.
Yep, there it goes.
Isn't Cameron awesome? Just amazing,
so
incredible partner, just incredible asset to the show here. But hashtag growth. And what we want to hear is, why is it so important to have a growth mindset? Why is that so important in your perspective?
Oh, stagnation is just not an option. It's not an option anymore. Was it ever? I mean, just like you said, Will Smith hopping in the car, showing up at your door. I mean, literally, if it came to that, then that's what you need to do. You need to figure out the next best thing, the next best way, the next best anything. You need to constantly be agile and thinking of, how can I make this happen? I need to better what I'm doing. And taking an internal look, I think, is the biggest part of that introverted look, introspective look is the word I'm really looking for. And going, how can I change what I'm doing? What am I doing that's not making such and such happen? And yes, growth mindset, Luke. I love it. changing your mindset is everything. You can be in the sourest of situations, but if your mindset is right, or if you can change the gears in your brain and shine a brighter light on something, be grateful, or change your mindset just a little bit, you can make it a growth situation. You have the ability to change any situation that you're in, your business situation, your job, your career, your life, whatever it is. You can adopt that growth mindset. It takes work. You have to keep working at this. You can't, again, stay stagnant and expect things to happen. That's not the way it works. Hence the word growth.
That's absolutely right. It reminds me, I know we've talked about this in the show before, but the book Mindset, and I can't remember for the life of me the name of the author, but known Cameron, he'll probably find it and put it up on the screen. Yeah, for sure. But it talks about growth mindset versus fixed mindset, and it was actually done by, I believe it was she might have been a teacher or a philosopher, a psychologist, but
Carol Dweck is popping into my head.
Carol Dweck, I'm pretty sure you're 100% right. Pretty sure you're right. And she said that she got groups of students, and some of the students in the circle were like super pumped and excited about this challenge they gave, this puzzle that was super hard, and they were excited about the challenge. And then there was other groups that were like frustrated because they couldn't figure it out, and they were so annoyed. And it came down to that. A lot of times, and I was there, honestly, Kate, I was there big time, not wanting to make a mistake, not wanting to look bad, not wanting to make a fool of myself. I finally got at peace with, and it took a long time. Like you said, it took a lot of work for me to get to a place where I was okay being a fool. Like I said you saw in the intro video, I'm okay with people to know who I am, right? I'm okay with who I am. It's just, if you don't like me, I'm sorry for you. Right?
Exactly.
Because I'm awesome, right? I'm not perfect, but I'm awesome, right? And you are too, right? Whoever's listening to this, you are too, right? It's not about Steve Spiro. It's not about Kate Bays. It's about you. You're amazing, but if you don't worry about making those mistakes, you could change. You could be agile. You could have that growth mindset and just learn to adapt and learn to just get over it. And it wasn't until that happened where I was so boxed in. I had myself boxed in a shell into a and got out of that finally, and the confidence grew, everything grew. So it's pretty amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
There it is. Look at that. I know if I talk, find it. Absolutely.
Perfect.
That's the graphic, but I don't know if we figured out if it is.
It's Carol Dweck for the book. Luke Harlan with the big assist in the comments there as well. We've showcased the book, and I'll put it in the chat and put it up. But I thought just as a visual, just sort of you see the growth mindset versus the fixed mindset, right? I'm either good at it or I'm not. Right, fixed versus I can learn to do anything I want. Challenges help me to grow, right? That kind of growth mindset, very, very important.
Super.
I think embracing that failure is the biggest thing. As soon as you change your mind that failure is, we have such negative connotation about failure. My goodness, failure is the only way you can learn. If you don't get it right the first time, you have to try it again. You have to get better at it. Practice makes perfect, so they say. You have to keep working at everything that you're doing. Everything that's worth doing right takes a lot of work and a lot of persistence. And this mindset is the same thing.
There it is. That's it. Perfect. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's true. And you know what? Failure, right? I've heard it said multiple times that the opposite or success is failure turned inside out. That's what I've heard, right? You have to fail. You fail forward. You take, it's either winning or learning, right? Not winning or losing, right? Just because you don't succeed initially, if you keep going, you just keep going. Did I say that? You keep going, right? You just got to keep, I'm telling you, it's the key to anything. Most people, they're like if they're on a train, they're literally the next stop of success and they just got off the stop prior. It's so often how it happens, right? You're that close. Just got to keep going. Like Dory said in the movie, right? Just keep swimming.
Keep swimming.
I
love it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. Well, we want to keep this moving. So we want to talk a little bit about humanity. So we're going to have you put in the hashtag in the comments, hashtag humanity. And thank you for spelling that out, because I probably couldn't say it and spell it properly, because I'm learning disabled dyslexic. But anyway, we want to hear, Kate, your perspective. You speak about heart and humanity.
Right.
And that's intriguing. And I'd like to know a little bit more, if you could dig on that a little bit more, and what you're referring to, and how does that really impact you and other people that you work with?
So I mentioned this gap that I'm seeing and the need for this heart and humanity. So like you were saying, you want to expose your heart. You want to lay your cards out. This is who I am. I am awesome. You just need to give me a chance and bring me in, hear about my personality. And then on the other side, the humanity is that hiring manager saying, I will give you that chance. I looked at your resume and I wasn't that, that impressed. But now that I've seen this video cover letter and I have a little inside look at your personality and these things, these questions that you're answering, I am so excited to meet you in person. And I'm so excited to give you a chance. And all these things that you're hearing about nowadays of not being contacted back, of being ghosted, all of these inhumane things. I know that might be a little stretch, but it's not right. We could do better. Let's work on doing better. A simple email, a one-liner, I'm sorry you didn't get the job. Better luck next time, whatever. And some people go the extra mile. You hear these stories on LinkedIn where someone actually gave advice. Hey, we didn't pick you, but maybe if you tweaked these couple of things, we could consider you in the future, or you'd be an asset to such and such a team or some other type of field. I don't know, but just taking a minute to think, put your own self in that position and say, what would I want? I would want a response. I would want a timeline. I would want some information. Don't treat me like a, don't mistreat me.
No, absolutely.
Humanity, right?
Right. It's simple. I mean, in my mind, it is anyhow.
Yeah, I hire a lot of people, and I think one of the things that's been something that's almost anti-intuitive in terms of, you're interviewing folks, you're taking your time. I was talking about it with my team in the office today. There's this guy that started working with us recently. His interview was absolutely horrible. If I had to bet on it, and luckily I'm not a betting man, but if I had to bet on it, if somebody forced me to bet on, I would have said the guy was on drugs. He came to me referred. Interview was less than mediocre. Went out, did a stellar job in the field. Part of the whole deal with hiring in my specific place is that the folks that we're hiring are waiters and bartenders and chefs, and so they're not communication professionals. If you have somebody at an interview table and they're about to go on broadcast news, they better be able to smile and, for the moment and be engaged. But I can't expect from my waiter or bartender or chef to have this amazingly written resume. I can't expect them to be camera ready, so to speak, for all those moments. And so being kind. I love what Luke Harlan is saying in the comments here, costs nothing to be kind. And then the big thing that I'm asking folks to do, which this guy as many of my staff do, is I don't expect you to know everything, but I do expect you to take what you learn on this event and bring it to the next event. And so I love what Luke Harlan's saying here in the comments. The only failure is not learning from your experience. So if I've spent the time showing you didn't know how to do this before, but now I've showed you how to do it, you should be able to take that to the next event. And not only take that to the next event, but show that same kindness to the next person and show them how to do it as well.
Yes, 100%.
Pretty awesome. Yeah. So Kate, I want to ask a question. I'm going to go a little bit off of script here, just a tiny bit. And I want to touch on resume a little bit. I know that's not maybe your expertise per se, but I'm curious your take on it. So type in hashtag resume if you're open, if you'd like to learn what I'd like to learn, just your perspective, right? I've seen, like, I work in Canva a lot when I'm doing a lot of graphics, and there's like a whole section on Canva of all these cool resumes.
Right.
Some are very graphic-y, and some have like a little bio on the side. Like, what's your take on the whole resume? What would be a good way to, to present your resume is cool? Okay. Is it, what are your thoughts on that? Just curious.
Well, I definitely think that the responses have run the gambit, and I've thrown polls up on LinkedIn to get ideas of what people are looking for. I saw a comment earlier today from someone that they were talking about how you should even hold off putting your resume in, applying somewhere, as the first couple of resumes that go into a system we're all worried about that AI and it filtering out our resumes. That happens initially, but later in the process, I guess they're filtering through more. But I mean, what is the AI weeding through? An example of weeding out. If you have any spelling errors in there, it doesn't matter how much time you spent and how much, how fancy and graphics and I added this and that. And if there is something that system doesn't like, automatically out. So, it's great. And I hear a lot of services that are available where people are, helping you create your resume, redo your resume. I'm hearing a lot of transitioning teachers who are looking for, the right verbiage, how to change what their skill set into corporate speak so that it's applicable. But I think really you have to be you, and you have to let all of that real shine through. So if you are not a showy graphics Canva kind of person, don't make a showy Canva resume. You're setting yourself up, but it's an unrealistic expectation. Do you know what I mean? So if I show you all this fancy stuff and then I go in, I get the job, and then you're like, okay, now we're going to need you to do something like you did with your resume.
Well, and I compare this to, I've talked about it before on this show, the interview that I did in a 3-piece suit, and the president leans in and says, yeah, this guy's overdressed. He's not for this. Any place that you're applying to, right, your resume should be reflective of the culture. You should hopefully have done some research to know what they're looking for. If it's Google, they probably want something techie and engineering, right? If it's Domino's Pizza and you're going for the sales department for corporate accounts, they probably want something that's really, well put together, but has something to do with pizza and sales and that particular line of business. So if you've just said you are a delivery person at Domino's, that's probably not going to cut it to get to the top of the pile. So that's when we need to tweak, and we need to start thinking about what are some of the experiences that we need to reflect. Because I know I get a lot of resumes for waiters and bartenders and chefs. And so a danger sign for me is when the resume is too much loaded on really great career stuff. I'm like, well, this is not necessarily an entry position, but at the same time, if you're coming to me with 25 years of corporate experience and you've led sales thing, I'm thinking my compensation package probably isn't exactly what you're looking for. I'm wondering what are you doing? Or on this other side of it, if you have all this other healthcare experience, where's the catering experience? That's what I'm hiring for. That's what I want to see in terms of experience. So probably somewhere close to 50%, 40% of the resumes that I'm responding to on Indeed, I'm hitting them back with a question of, do you have catering experience for a position that requires catering experience that I've clearly told them in the job ad that they were applying to that you need catering experience, but I'm not seeing a lick of it on the resume.
It's crazy.
So what I'm hearing is do your due diligence and then have several versions or a very specific version for each application. And I know that's time consuming, but a quick cut and paste, be ready to do that. Cameron just specifically
for me,
said,
with a cover letter that says, hey, I don't have catering experience, but I saw this. This is an excellent opportunity for part-time work. I worked at XYZ catering shop from 20, to 21. whatever, right? Whatever that information is that's relevant to the piece, that's all it takes. You're answering the question, right? It just takes a little bit of thought. Obviously, different resumes for different positions if you're looking for different things. But at the same time, I wouldn't recommend that somebody spends a lot of time creating different resumes, because if you're truly looking for a position that fits the bill, and I mean, depending on what you're looking for, if you're looking for part-time revenue for weekend work with a catering company or something like that, then maybe, you're going to have a different piece that you're sending out to them. Or maybe you're a consultant and you offer different things from your shop. So we're talking a lot about like an individual, but I think that the same is true for companies. I know for my company, we do some different types of staffing for some different types of organizations. And where I want to focus my efforts when I'm sending that email out, right, is different than the spiel I'm giving over the phone to somebody that's calling me for a private home party. Where I want to focus my time and my efforts are on those corporate, longer term, contractual pieces that are going to feed my company for the long term. I have some great information for private home stuff, but that's not the stuff that I'm pushing out in marketing messages and following up on. I want to go after the really lucrative piece of the business, because that's where I want to focus my time. And I think the same is true for any job seeker out there. Sure. Where do you want to focus your time the best so you can get the best results?
Good advice, for sure.
Absolutely. That was a mouthful. That might be a mic drop moment there, Cameron, for sure. Very cool. Well, we're all about community here with the Master Connector Show. We love our community. We're big on networking, connecting, and so I know I want to kind of start to close up with a conversation briefly on community. So if you please, community, type in community, type in community. Okay, right in the comments right now. And Kate, we'd like to hear, you've talked about the value of community, and we want to hear a little bit more on your perspective on how you feel that would be helpful for someone to get more success.
Oh, absolutely. LinkedIn alone, I think, is the greatest place to grow that community. So I started out about 2 years ago, roughly, and have grown over 13,000 followers, just networking with people and growing. Not the same concept with the 3 strangers, yes, but just everyday conversations. Hi, how are you? I'd love to know more about what you do. This is what I do. Maybe we could connect. Maybe you can help me and I can help you. And the benefits are exponential. You never know when you can help connect the dots for people. I'm constantly doing that. Hey, Kate, I don't know anything about this. Well, neither do I. Let me help you because I know someone who can. And I'm connecting just like you, Steve, making those connections for people all the time. And that is such a huge benefit of using these platforms and growing. I mean, get involved with the groups and these different conversations that are happening. Look for the things that interest you in particular. Hop into those conversations. Start sharing. Don't just be a fly on the wall. Put a little post in there. Put a little question in there. You will get so much feedback and so much help. It's out there and it's available, but you have to engage. You have to work on networking.
That's great. Yeah, networking, right? The working is a big part of that word, right? You got to work. It's not just relaxing. It's networking, right? So you got to get in there. It's lounging. What's that?
No net lounging.
No net lounging. And listen, you said it before. No more lurking. Okay. If you're still watching the show and you haven't gotten the comments at least once, say something. We want you to say something. There you go.
Get involved.
Get involved. But yeah, community is everything, and we love our community. We have an amazing group of people that show up regularly, and some new friends, new people that are getting on here, and we love to connect. And Kate, obviously this is great to get to know you and to get to have you as part of our community. It's pretty amazing. So we're gonna wrap up the show here. Just if you can, any closing comments, and then finally how our amazing community can connect with you best. How would you like them to connect with you as well?
Okay, yes, I would love for you to check out my HeartShaped HR YouTube, which you can get the link directly to on my LinkedIn profile. So Kate Bays on LinkedIn, find me there. Let's just strike up a conversation. Let's talk about what you're doing. I'd love to know. I sincerely have an interest in what people are doing and how things are going for people. I want to know how, the job market is for you and what's so great about your job. What's so great about your company? Do you have a great culture? I want to know all these things. It's fun. And I strongly encourage you, network, stay agile, focus forward, and don't worry about failure. Embrace failure. You could be, like Steve said, the next train stop could be your next successful whatever it is. But just keep persevering. You've got this.
Love that. Thank you. I mean, that's our show. A big part of our show is to be the light, to uplift and inspire and encourage. And you've actually brought that to the show here today. We appreciate you, Kate, and I encourage the community to not only connect with each other on the comments, but make sure you connect with Kate. Take her call to action serious. Go connect. Go get to our YouTube channel. Go make sure you connect with her. It's been amazing. We really do. And listen, I agree with you, Kate, wholeheartedly. Listen, whatever challenges, whatever struggles you are going through, you will be okay. I'm telling you, I've been through a lot, like you have as well. It's something you're going through. It's not something you're going to. You're going through it, which means that you're going to get through it. Okay, not stuck there. Right? These things that are happening to you. If there's some stuff, whether it's relationally, personally, professionally, whatever, you're going to be okay. It's just like she said. You got to just adapt a little bit. You got to be ready to fail a little bit, but you're going to be okay. So we appreciate you. So we're about to close the show, Cameron. Not sure if we're going to count down here. I see a backstage there. Normally do, which is we're going to count down to crush it. And so we just hopefully, Kate, if you watch, we end our show the same way. So we're going to count down 5 to 1, and then we're going to shout out crush it. And our community would love you to count and shout out crush it.
Just before we count down, just want to shout out Stephanie Crevens, who's going to be on the show next week. So same bad time, same bad channel, episode 75. Stephanie Crevens, how your hot message or how your hot mess can be your hot message. We're going to talk about that. That's next week's show. We are excited about it, and we're excited to count down to crush it with you right now. So here we go.
And also, don't forget our sponsors. We have our sponsors, Wes Lemos of Sales Connector. There it is. Thank you, Cameron. And also Jordan Mendoza, Blaze Your Own Trail. Go to masterconnector.show. You could click the links there and go and check out those. They're amazing resources for you, especially if you're looking to grow, you're looking to see success, you're looking to get maybe a new job, maybe grow your business. Those are great resources for you as well. But appreciate everyone. Let's go ahead and crush it out to the week. And we got half the week. We're at hump day today. But let's go ahead and count down. So ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Crush it.
Have an amazing week, everybody. Kate, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank
Our
you.
audience. Oh, man, we appreciate you so much. We got Yolanda counting down comment style in the comments with us. I love Luke's comments here. Grow through what you go through. Love it, love it, love it.
Spot on.
Amazing story and value. Thanks, Kate. We got from Luke. We got Samuel checking in just before the bell here. We didn't get to shout him out before, but I wanted to see if I could get it in here before we go. So Eric was checking in internationally from Love Togo. So thank you so much for watching the show. We will see you next week. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Steve Spiro, you're a mentor, you're a consultant, you're a business owner, but most importantly, you're a host of your own show and you're also a master connector.
Steve Spiro is one of my idols, and I love listening to everything that he does. He's such a dynamic individual.
Some of the topics I really enjoy speaking on is how to really connect, whether it be in person or through social media. I love to lead with my weaknesses. I lead with, my vulnerabilities. It's fine because I'm okay with who I am. Number 2 is how to go from being inward focused, self-focused, into others focused. Being willing to give and go out there and look to serve. That will attract the right things. Another one is on leveraging LinkedIn to really grow your business. you could reach a lot more people. You could broadcast a message to people that actually consented to want to know you. And then lastly, overcoming big obstacles.
I love sharing. I was a shy, introverted kid, picked on, bullied, learning disabled, dyslexic, really in a dark place. I was really in a box, in a shell, and I've been able to break out of that box. And so I love being able to inspire people and really help them. So the Master Connector was born.
The world is my networking event, right? I meet people all the time. My goal is to meet 3 strangers every single day.
Steve is open to meeting you. You should set up a face-to-face with Steve. One little conversation can really change your life.